What's up, guys? I am really excited to bring you this tour of a 1990 Davidson 44. I think this boat is an absolutely awesome value. It's in such good shape, and I think it's an awesome cruising vessel. You guys are going to see all that in a little bit, but real quick first before we get to the tour, just want to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and you enjoy these videos. It really helps us a lot. It's the single best way you can support this channel, so thank you in advance, and without further ado, let's get to the tour. So I just went ahead and stepped aboard. I'm gonna go ahead and look back at the cockpit. That's gonna be a really cool cockpit, I can already tell, but we're gonna come back to that as we will go forward first. Going forward, we've got a really wide side deck. I mean, that's probably 2.5 feet maybe. That's really nice and wide, nice and safe. We've got inboard stays, rod rigging. Looking up the rig, it looks like we have a triple spreader cutter rigged sailboat here. Going forward, we've got a really large spinnaker pole right here on deck. This is a massive forward hatch. I mean, that might be the biggest hatch I've ever seen of this type. We've got our anchor locker here with a windlass down there. Furling headsail. Looking aft. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but this is a very beamy boat, especially right there in the center of the boat. These are really nice, safe decks. There's not a lot to trip on. A little bit of ventilation. You got this giant hatch right here and then two smaller hatches right there. Looking at the rig, it looks like a few of the lines go there and a few of the lines go all the way back to the cockpit. Kind of an interesting little design. This boat is actually a cruiser built from a race boat design, so I think because of that it's going to be pretty interesting. We've got the main companionway down right there, our main sheet traveler. There's a Dodger and then another Dodger. Let's see what's under this Dodger. And then we have a Bimini right there. Solar panel. All right, guys, this is a really cool cockpit. If you look to the stern right here, you've got a really wide area to be seated, laying down, whatever. Under here is going to be a massive amount of storage that I'm going to show you in a little bit. But here is the helm station. So this is a good and protected helm station. You know, you've got your Bimini on top there, you've got a Dodger forward of that. But the interesting thing is, under that Dodger, there's no companionway. There's just kind of an opening hatch right there. Let's take a look at that. So what is under this Dodger right here? And what you have is a protected area to spend a watch right here. So, you know, you can have someone at the helm and you can have someone that's maybe next up on watch hanging out right here waiting for that. But you can have multiple people out here on watch and still be protected, you know, with these Dodgers, and have a place to lay down, sit down. Or you could be on watch, have the autopilot running, and then seated right there in near perfect protection. And then you'll be able to see forward through this clear isinglass. So there is a cover over right now. Without that cover, you'd be able to see forward, see your sails. So this boat has winches everywhere. I mean, winch. There's a winch over there, winch right there, winch right there, winch over there, winch over there. There's winches everywhere. You know, obviously this boat is meant to be sailed. This is definitely a cool boat. I haven't gone down below yet, but I can already tell that I like it. I like the layout on deck. It's definitely different than what you're used to seeing on cruising boats. It's more of a race boat turned cruiser, but I like it because I'm a sailor. I like to sail. So I don't just like to, you know, use my engine all the time. So I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Let's take a look at the helm station real quick. Nice big helm station, all your instruments right there at the helm. Behind the helm station is this massive compartment, man. That is a huge, huge storage compartment. And you can just pack everything down into there. I like it. And then you got easy access to your steering post right there. I'm curious to see what these are right here. Okay, propane lockers, it looks like. It looks like they were added. Yeah, propane. Alright, and then there's one last locker to peek in, and that's going to be under this area right here. Nice little shallow storage compartment. Just odds and ends. I just want to show you guys again, this is where you're going to spend a passage. Nice and protected under the Dodger. You can lay all the way down. You can be on watch. Pick your head up, you know, take a look forward every few minutes or so. Be perfectly protected and comfortable. I like it. I like it a lot. Alright guys, I was just laying right there. There is another solar panel right there on the starboard side. So there's a solar panel on each side on the stern rails. We're going to go forward. Now let's go ahead and go down the main companionway hatch. First, before we get to the interior of this boat, I want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Now, sponsorships like this help keep the content flowing, so I want to thank you guys as well for understanding. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of different classes for tons of different interests. Randy and I both love learning and trying to better ourselves and what we do just a little bit all the time, so we really like taking classes on Skillshare that involve productivity, film, video, lifestyle, and entrepreneurship, just to name a few. One class that I personally haven't taken yet, but will be taking very soon, is called YouTube Success, Script, Shoot, and Edit with Marcus Brownlee. I'm excited for this class because I'm hoping that it will help me bring you better content as well as growing the channel. Skillshare is truly created for learning, so that means no ads, and they're constantly adding premium classes so that you can continue to follow wherever your creativity and curiosity might take you. The classes also have subtitles in Spanish, French, Portuguese, and Dutch. Whether you're a dabbler or a pro, a hobbyist or a master, you're creative. You can discover what you can do with classes for any skill level. Now, the first 1,000 of our subscribers to click the link in the description below will actually get 1 month free of Skillshare, so you can start exploring your creativity today. So what have you got to lose? Alright guys, thanks for sticking with me. Let's get back to the boat tour. This is definitely a hatch that I would recommend going down backwards. And then looking forward, guys. All I have to say is wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is a beautiful, beautiful boat. And I was really not expecting this interior from the outside. You know, there's not really any wood on the outside at all. And then you come down here and it's just bam! Beautiful woodwork everywhere. I love it. Let's go ahead and go forward first. So we've got the main salon right here, and we've got 2 main settees, 1 on each side with a table in the middle. Has 2 leaves that fold out, so you can create a massive table and have a lot of people eating at that table. Here is obviously the mast. You've got lots of storage behind these seats. And then you've got this mesh here, which is going to keep fresh air going in and out of those cabinets, and it's going to help prevent mold. Storage behind the settees. Under the settee, you've got some batteries. On the port side, there's some batteries down here as well. And then forward of the batteries on each side, I believe, is tankage. And then more storage, obviously, on the port side as well. Let's continue forward. I know it's just a small touch, but I like the artwork. All right, up here in the V-berth. You know, we've got a pretty standard V-berth. It's definitely roomy. And then a little fold-out sink right there, a little vanity up here. That's nice. And then behind the door here, storage for your clothes. So nice forward cabin. Gonna go ahead and look at the nav station. Now this is a proper forward-facing nav station in a monohull. I mean, this is, you know, I don't know what more you could really ask for. This is gonna be an awesome place to, you know, go on your laptop and plan your route and everything. And also a really nice place to have all of your electronics kind of centralized at this station. So I like this a lot. And then you've got storage for, you know, your odds and ends. I consider a proper nav station kind of like the office of the boat. So this is a pretty good office. And then turning to port, we've got a really nice big L-shaped galley, lots of storage back there. I mean, really, there's tons of storage everywhere on this boat. This is a proper cruising boat. This boat has circumnavigated. It actually just recently completed a circumnavigation. So definitely a blue water cruiser. And all of the wood's just in really, really good shape. The owners took awesome care of this vessel. Engine's going to be below the stairs there. We're going to do that last. Gimbaled stove. And then let's go into the aft cabin. Now back here you've got a beautiful, beautiful full beam aft cabin. I mean, I love it. Big queen size island berth. You've even got a settee on the side there to hang out in. I love it. And then full standing headroom in the forward section of it. All of your clothes storage is going to be on this side, on the starboard side, and that is definitely a lot of clothes storage. Definitely big enough to live aboard and sail the world, and that's what the previous owners did. So there you go. And then looking forward, you've got a nice big head. This is a wet head, but it is a very large wet head. And again, just everything's in really good shape. And then when you open this door here, it opens out. Bam, you're in the main salon. One of the things too I didn't point out earlier is there is a heater right there. So you can do some high latitude sailing as well. All right, guys, just standing in this boat, I absolutely love it. I think if we had the disposable income, we would potentially purchase it. I think it's a great deal. Whoever's going to buy it is going to be very happy that they did. This is an awesome boat. Let's go ahead and take a look at the engine. All right, guys, engine access. Obviously, that top part will come off too as well. And I believe that engine's only about 3 years old, and it is a Beta Marine diesel. So even engine-wise, this boat is in beautiful shape. Alright guys, I'm up here in the V-berth, and we are going to do the full continuous below decks walkthrough now. Alright guys, looking at the V-berth. Good size V-berth, forward cabin. Got a little vanity with a sink right there, looking aft. To starboard, hanging locker, going aft. Nice big main saloon, tons of storage. Nice long main settees and big fold out main table around the mast there. To starboard, we've got a proper nav station. To port, nice big L-shaped galley. Going aft. I think this is the highlight of the boat. The full beam aft cabin, just massive amounts of storage and a huge island berth. Absolutely love it. Walking through to the head. Nice big head. Walking through the head again, and now we're going forward. We did a circle around the companionway, and then there's the companionway stairs. Love the design. Love the boat. Anyone who buys her is going to be happy. And that's it, guys. Alright guys, I really enjoyed that boat, and I'll tell you what, I had to stop myself from putting an offer down on this vessel. That's how good of a deal I think this boat is, and that's how awesome I think this boat is. We've already got, you know, our own stuff going on, so, you know, we really can't buy this boat right now. You know, you can't own every boat, but, you know, if things were different, we probably would be, you know, under contract on it. But anyway, that's how much I like the boat. But first, let's talk about it. What are the biggest strengths of this vessel? Well, obviously, you know, the size and the layout was very unique. It's really good for a cruising vessel, but it was optimized as a race boat. So this boat is going to sail really, really well. And I personally like that aspect of it. The fact that it was designed first as a performance vessel and then converted to a cruising vessel. I think, you know, that's where your priorities should be in sailboats is, you know, sailing performance, not necessarily live aboard space. But all that being said, there was a lot of live aboard space in this boat. Now the deck layout was quirky, but I liked it, and I think that's where you saw the race boat bones. You had that big aft cockpit area, and then that other area that was protected under that big Dodger. You know, that's where crew or the skipper can, you know, get out of the weather while they're still on watch. I absolutely love that. And then you just had lines and winches everywhere, all going back to, you know, both that main cockpit and I would say that secondary area in front of the main cockpit. That's where the main companionway was. But yeah, I mean, I liked it. It had nice, open, wide decks. It had lots of room, you know, lots of space to be able to be out on deck and sailing this boat the way that you want to sail it. But then also a lot of protection as well. So it really had the best of both worlds in that respect. Now down below, I loved the fact that you had the contrast between, from the outside, there was no exterior teak, and then you go down below and it's just completely teaked out. You know, it just teak everywhere, wood everywhere, beautiful condition wood. It really looked beautiful down below. And then I loved the layout. It was just really no nonsense. It would be great for a couple or a small family. You've got that huge aft cabin that, you know, is full beam. That was awesome. And then you've got, you know, a nice big galley, a nice proper nav station, a nice area to sit up forward of all that, and then a standard V-berth cabin. So you've got an extra cabin for guests as well. Realistically, just an awesome cruising boat. I think the only reason why it hasn't sold yet is it does have a pretty deep draft, because again, it's a performance monohull. So that draft is about 7'5". So that is, you know, that's gonna limit you, definitely. That would definitely limit you to doing certain things. But this is, you know, a circumnavigator, an ocean vessel. It's already completed a circumnavigation recently. It's definitely an offshore blue water cruiser. I really like it, you know, even if you might have to anchor a lot farther out than most sailboats. I think that makes up for it. I think the price is right, and it's an awesome boat. As always, guys, the price is going to be in the description below, as well as the broker contact information if you're interested in potentially reaching out and purchasing this vessel. That's going to be it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell if you want to know each and every time we drop a video. See you guys.
I've got it right and I got it